It is fascinating to look into the psychology of what keeps us going and how people get energized. I'm not known for a sedentary lifestyle. I like to be active. Using a battery analogy, I would say that my normal daily life is exciting enough, stimulating enough to give me a good charge so I don't get depleted. Every once in a while, people get an extra boost. These are moments of triumph, moments of epiphany, when a huge surge of energy elevates us to a higher level. This is Janja Garnbret's golden moment at the Paris Olympics. Can you see the incredible transformational power of this? Well, if you ask me, it's a good thing to fall in love. Love creates tension that generates and releases so much energy that a person in love could move mountains. Now, people have long realized that this much energy could be dangerous and developed social and cultural mechanisms to control it. Teenagers and young adults have to figure this out, and it's not an easy or straightforward task. After awkward and pathetic attempts at love, I concluded that passion is not supposed to tear me apart and rob me of energy. Instead, love should be more like a propellant that pushes me in the right direction. What's the right direction? Well, in my case, direction setting was easy. I wanted to find my true love, my soulmate, and start a family. I wanted to last, and I craved stability in a relationship. Oh yeah, and I had pretty good role models to follow. Here's an experiment. Just pour out a little gunpowder and put a match to it. It just burns. Put the same gunpowder in a confined space, let's say the breech of a cannon or a cartridge, and it explodes. Fire! This is what happens when the energy of sexual tension in a person cannot be released. Michelangelo was madly in love with a handsome young guy, Tommaso dei Cavalieri. But he had to confine his burning passion into the straitjacket of platonic love. The divine celebrity Michelangelo privately suffered a lot and channeled his passion, his tension, the anger, into creating art on an epic scale. And there is Andy Warhol. I'm not a big fan of his Soupkins and Marilyns, but I feel sorry for the poor guy. He had many problems, big problems. And he too suffered a lot. Not just to find his voice, but simply to find a reasonable balance in his life that makes it sustainable. Both Michelangelo and Andy Warhol faced the same dramatic choice. Either they fight to find a way to make their lives meaningful, or they crumble, or possibly self-destruct. I understand gay energy. Quite early in my life, I knew that I was different. I had no idea that I was blessed with the so-called golden brain, each hemisphere equally dominant. I was creative, free-spirited, analytical, and logical all at the same time. Today, I would be identified as a gifted kid and sent to a pay school. My brain generated fantastic ideas every day, but in socialist Hungary, I was seen as a dangerous individual who had his own mind, therefore he needed to be crushed. I got along with girls and with women in general. Mostly I had no problem fitting into male dominance hierarchies, but I avoided guys who had not much to offer intellectually. I was different from everybody around me, which of course created cognitive dissonance and tension. I learned that sometimes I have to hide in a closet to avoid conflict. So how did it work out? Well, I massively failed to find my place in socialist Hungary, and socialist Hungary failed massively to offer a place where somebody like me could grow. I fled the country and got a second chance in Canada, where friendly people supported me as I was rebuilding my shattered life. I'm forever grateful for this. However, this did not change the fact that even here, I was different from everybody around me. I needed to redefine myself, fit in, and pull off a balancing act. Well, the second time around, I did a better job. I don't have conflicts on my hands, and I'm a well-liked person. But if I don't want to isolate myself from the folks around me, I still have to watch what I say and what I do. All my life, I was searching, but I found only a precious few people who I can be open with. So this is why I have great sympathy for the gay people who need to play their cards carefully, and even in the best possible society, they still face an obstacle course and no easy paths to follow. I believe that gay energy is disproportionately important in moving and shaping the world. But it would be a huge mistake to think that due to the historical significance of the gay voice, all gay people are inherently angels and saints. My gay sources are telling me that gay relationships can be complicated. Idolizing and worshipping gay things, pushing a gay cult may fit in with the current zeitgeist. Historically, it ebbs and flows. Michelangelo fell in love with a person. He truly loved his friend Tommaso, whose idealized face shows up even in the Sistine Chapel. He gave Tommaso his best sketches. These. He wrote him beautiful sonnets. Above all, he respected his boundaries. Michelangelo didn't erect marble phallus idols like the Greeks. This is what he did with marble. He created the Pietà. Beyond the Soupkins and the Marilyns, digging a bit deeper, we find Warhol's Sex Parts series. It's not for everybody. In these sketches, Andy Warhol ended up reducing his models to desired male body parts. This is objectification, reflecting questionable ideology, questionable attitude, and perhaps questionable behavior. Borderline pornography is not sanitized if a famous name is attached to it. People need to accept the reality of human nature, the reality of biology, and the reality of numbers. Facts are facts. The bulk of human energy comes from heterosexual couples who form a lifelong committed pair bond and raise kids in a family. Majority, minority. This means something. And it has consequences, just like in my own life. It doesn't matter if we are a little different or very different from others. We have to be valued contributors to society. It's even better if we can offer something special.